Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of KamenRider BlackMan. Since I missed doing last week's KamenRider ZO review, today we will be doing both episode 5 and 6 today. And once again, to recap from my last video, the schedule for this week is the KamenRider ZO reviews will be posted on YouTube on Tuesdays at 2 o'clock, and whatever video I have in mind for the rest of the week or the weekend will be posted on Saturdays at 12 or Friday. Let me know down in the comments if you would rather see videos on Friday or Saturday. That'd be interesting. Anywho, let's dig into episodes 5 and 6 of ZO since I missed doing episode 5 last week. So where we start off is where time is frozen due to Wool and Hora, and they're talking about last week where Hora failed with KamenRider Another X-Aid. And while they're having their conversation, they are now stuck in place. Meaning today's Drives Focus episode, Gates start explaining where'd you get the drive ride watch.
Question isn't how I do it. It's how I forgive myself for what I've done.
Now, while Wool and Hora are stuck in place, we are now introduced to the third time jacker, and who I think is hilarious. Now we are being introduced to Schwartz, and boy, does his intro remind me of Vegeta in Team 4-Star Abridged.
察しがいい。ウル、ショコラはいるかい？ You want a biscuit, boy? You want a biscuit?
Do you think I'm a dog?
Have a biscuit!
Getting off of that, now we pander to Sogo on his way home, overhearing two guys talking about whatever. I think it was a test or something. But the important thing about that was, the key thing about that was friendship, which got Sogo to thinking of Gates and Tsukomi as his friends. And of course, after that, theme song plays, and now we go to the clock shop, where we see his uncle.
やらせていただきます。取りに行きます。失礼します。お客さん？おう。古くなったオーディオ直してほしいって。うち時計屋なんだけどね。
Sogo's uncle then decides to turn the clock shop into a porno shop, thus renaming the show KamenRider Pizza Man. Now, Tsukomi and Gates show up looking into a case of serial kidnappings that's been happening for the last few years, and Sogo assuming it's in Another Rider due to the pattern left as previous Another Riders have had. Now, in the central point of these disappearances are Anamawagawa High School, the high school where KamenRider Forze took place. It's amazing. It's 2018. It's amazing how this school is still in business due to its history of monster attacks and now kidnappings. How has a kid not pranked this school yet by giving everyone laxatives for the school board to take notice? They can't because they're too busy bothering students about dress code policies. Now, with a plan to find any girls that fit the profile to be a prey, they go undercover there until Gates gets the idea of hacking into the school's computer. And with that said, that I just think is funny. Up, up, and away! And this plan just so happens to be a good distraction. Sogo gets hurt, nurse tends to hurt student, which buys them enough time to look into the computers. That was a little weird. Wonder who that was. Anyway, Sogo's plan works, and they got a lead. And Sogo finds that lead first and loses them until running into Woes. To then Woes reveals to him a prophecy that could help them with the another rider, the word shooting star. No fucking way. Kusaka? KamenRider Kayaksa? He's alive? He should be dead. And I'm sorry if I spoil something from anyone who hasn't seen Fies yet, but this character died, and he should still be dead. Misato's an ass, and he's an ass's douchebag for how twisted and backstabbing he is. And if you've seen Fies, then you know how he dies. So why is he back from the dead and body not disintegrating and neck snapped? That, out of all people, Kayaksa? Why? What is their thought process? Ugh. I need a moment. And I need my water bottle. But I'll get that later. So anyway, the lead girl gets thrown off a roof. And thank God the writers know that distance and time and perception exist. Because girl here falling, everyone else over here, they're not going to be able to make it on time. So kudos to that. It's not just Forza. You can just jump insanely high or wherever and just catch someone, and apparently you're okay. But this is where we get to see the monster for this episode. Another Forza. Now let's talk about another Forza for a minute. This is a good monster. I like that it actually has the abilities of Forza, just like another build. It can capture people, turn them into full bottles, and use them for best matches and attack. And so for another Forza to just actually be Forza, that's pretty neat. If I had a picture, I'd show it. Hey jerk, stick to the scans. That one's not yours. Although, I do like how this looks. How the build armor looks on Gates looks amazing. It's probably because there's no silver in it, like with Zio when he uses the build armor. So, and with this form, Gates wrecks another Forza's shit into retreating, and finally able to talk to the girl, whose name I remember now, Karen. She starts running away. They go after her, and they finally run into the KamenRider Club with the two characters from the Wizard Forza Ultimatum movie, names being Chikao, Daita, and the other one's name, I forgot. He's the one with the glasses. Have you seen the Forza Wizard movie? It's the round one. It's the fat one and the one with the glasses and long hair. And boy, have they aged. Time period wise, it should be years after the events of Forza, into the future where they're teenagers. And it's 2018, and they have aged. Like, they've aged. And I've looked up the actors ahead of time while watching this. well, after I watched this episode, and I haven't found anything, but they should be at least in their 30s, do their haircuts. I don't know, maybe Amawagawa's trying some new totalitarian style of school policy for when you try to destroy your own school. So, Sogo and party enter the KamenRider Club and get the lowdown on what it's about. While Sogo first goes at Wool's clue, he sees a picture of the alumni KamenRider Club, basically meaning the Forze cast, and he looks at a picture of Rusei, KamenRider Meteor, and my personal favorite secondary rider. Learning that they're the pictures of the alumni from 2011, Gates remembers that 2011 is the number on another Forze, which is the year that the show even came out. And then the teacher, Osugi Sensei, he comes in and he shows his uncomfortable hand gestures. I'm a jellyfish. So, Osogi goes for a box and pulls out these nuts, as well as the Forze ride watch. Gentro gave them the ride watch. He gave the ride watch to Osogi, saying that amazing people will come for this one day and give it to them. While Gentro's out looking for a student that ran away from home. Meaning, while the time that Zio was in production, build was ending, and over the summer there was the live-action Bleach movie. So that could be the reason why Gentro and Rusei's actors were unavailable to come back for this tribute. But either way, they now have the Forze ride watch and now go to 2011 to take care of another Forze. And now, we're in 2011 and we find the kidnapper and Soda Schwartz. Director, I need an adult. For frankly, this is sort of the kinkiest way of creating another writer, and thus another Forze is born. Now, while they found him now we're up to Gates and Sogo. They're now up to finding. They've just now found another Forze immediately after he absorbed another victim, and now they go to deal with him. Mr. Piccolo, help! Let this be a lesson, kid. Don't fuck with Woze's Man Crush Monday, or he will come after you. Especially when they're about to do a form change. So, now let's talk about Zio's new form, the Forze armor. Off the bat, this is my least favorite form. I am not kidding. Like, the helmet looks good, but it's still... I want to start off with this. Those floppy-ass shoulders that he has in the back, and whenever he starts moving, they just start flopping around. Like, just no. Like, I get it. They're useful for when he does the finisher, and they now become a rocket shuttle, but still. And also, the big-ass rocket hands. Like, he could just... they just look so unnecessary. Like, yeah, they're unnecessary. Like, why does Gates get the better forms where he doesn't have anything huge in his way? Like, the hugest thing he has are the two shift cars on his wrist. But for the Forze form, he also has those bulky ass leg pads. Like, it's like, I don't even want to use the word awful for this. I just want to say messy. Like, and the one good thing about this that I do like is that, for starters, I like the what I like about this form, I'll say it. I like the helmet, and I like what the transformation sounds that he makes when he's using the Forze armor. When I go, 3, 2, 1, Forze. I immediately think of cosmic states, and that just looks beautiful to me. But yeah, I like the helmet, but this form is bulky and messy. So, with the Forze armor, like, Sogo now wrecks another Forze, to which another Forze is defeated, but it breaks out of the shell and becomes another Phys. That will be a question that will be answered later in this video. And where we end this video is with Tsukomi finding Karin, saying that she's going to protect her, and Kusaka now finding them. And we immediately end this episode with Takumi, KamenRider Phys, and his long 2003 now black hair, here to save the day. And that is where we will end this episode. But we're not done yet. We just did episode 5. Now we're doing episode 6, where we start off with where we left off with another Phys, and then it immediately turns back into another Forze. And that's that from there. And of course, like, Takumi, he tries to talk to Kusaka, wondering why he's doing this. Doesn't work. Opening. And then let me take a moment of water. Because, yeah, now my mind's straight. The boys come back home to 2018, and Takumi's there.
誰だ
常盤総合
You're in his house.
そうか。まされ。
You're in his house. Whatever. So, we actually get caught up on Takumi and see what he's been doing since Phys, and he's doing great. Still the same. Works at dry clears and whatnot. That's great. That's fine. Actually, yeah, that's pretty fine for him. And so, now getting caught up, Sogo and Takumi, they now go back to the school to find Karin, and not at all sound creepy enough for security to come to actually stop them.
俺常盤総合今日から俺とこの
乾匠だ。
そう俺たちで君を守るから。
なんであなたたちが私と何も関係ないのに。
俺王様になりたいからさ。王様ってわけ隔てなく民を守るのが使命でしょ。
Sogo, I still like you. Sogo, I still like you as a character. Please don't do anything to ruin that. So, Tsukomi and Gates do their research on the missing people reports over the past few years, and have looked up to see that Karin actually died 15 years ago, and putting pieces together, thanks to Sogo's uncle, they discover the Another Rider's motive, kidnapping girls to give her more life essence to keep her alive. While that part's been resolved, Sogo's been stalking her, but he now knows who Another Forze's next target is, a girl whose birthday is today in the episode. So, Another Forze lures the girl to Karin's shock and Kusaka's way to stop him. Now, Kusaka and Another Forze fight, and I swore I thought Kusaka was going to get his neck snapped, and he doesn't. Okay, that's not just me. A lot of people don't like this character. If you're watching this video, you know it. Anyway, so with Kusaka about to get hurt, or even worse, Takumi rushes in to save him, and he hates his ass, and he hates Kusaka's ass so much, but he admits that he's his friend. Yeah, but how exactly are they friends? They never liked each other, and Takumi even admits to him that they're friends. Like, they're not like Kina and Kel friends or Joey and Chandler friends. They're more like Trump and Putin friends. But either way, another Forza escapes with no one thinking about chasing it. I am not kidding. There are so many comparisons I can make to this and Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and it would be priceless. But either way, at that moment, Takumi decides to give Sogo his ride watch, which Soko gives to Gates.
Gates! 何？頼んだ。アナザーライダーを止めてくれ。
Finally, Gates has a form change where there's actually an explanation. Coda, you know what that means? Dance party! So, we now go back to 2003, and we see Karen's accent, and really I just think she wasn't looking both ways. But we also see Sakuma make a deal with Hora and become another Phase, which causes Takumi to lose. Okay, so R.I.P. Mari, because let's be real, she died, or the Orthodox either Mari died or the Orthodox just disappeared, along with Takumi's powers. But, and also, real quick, that wig is not accurate, like, at all. I could so tell you're wearing a wig, because his hair back then was not that dark. Either way, it's still 2003, and Gates actually encounters Hora, and that alone, it just ties up loose strings, as well as in 2018. But here's the thing right now. I want to get off a plot for a second, or just talk about one thing for a moment. This show is trying to redeem Kusaka's character, but it doesn't work because that makes it even more inconsistent. If Kusaka himself actually survived through Phase, maybe then he would have had calmed down. But you'd still question this show is working itself to be accurate. Like, not just with the last 10 years since W, but with the early 2000s as well. And so, yeah, because people remember the hell out of Phase, and they remember the hell out of Kusaka, because he was an awful person. And it's like, it doesn't fit how he is, because the point of his character wasn't to be likable. Anyway, Loose Ties are wrapped up in 2003 and 2018. Now, as we go back to they're going back to 2011, because Sogo still has to defeat another Forza, where in 2003 we see Gates using the Phase armor, and I fucking love this suit. I love everything about this suit. This is, I don't know, Gates, I like the forms that Gates gets because I also like the ghost armor and the drive armor on him. And it's just, this suit alone, it resembles Fize's actual suit enough to transcend over to Gates because the colors on there are the same. But it's not only that, he also gets the knuckle duster that Fize has and the leg pointer to which he can do a rider kick with. And it is fucking awesome. The one thing I would wish that he had also was the sword that Fize gets as well. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention that he also does the rider kick? He does Fize's rider kick with the pointer at his leg, and yo, Fize's rider kick is so amazing as it is. Actually seeing it today, this year, awesome. So Gates defeats another Fize, and 2011, Sogo defeats another Forze, finally allowing Karin to die in peace. And so we end this episode with Kusaka going wherever the hell he's going, and Sogo forgetting to give Takumi and Gentaro blank ride watches. But for Gentaro, I think that'll be a little tricky, because for that, he'll have to dive into a whole nother genre. But, overall, this episode was okay-ish, but mild. It still fails to answer the question of how is Kusaka still alive, and the fact that they tried to redeem him, I don't know. It's like they're trying to redeem him in like one episode, and it doesn't work. But besides that, they still managed to have some inconsistencies, to which they did answer in this episode. I will give this two-parter this. They prepared for it to be a two-parter. But for episode 6, I feel like they could have dropped the Forze half of it, since now it's going to be all about the Fize tribute. I felt like they could have let go of another Forze. But I guess that's just me, with Sakuma having to absorb like people from that year and 2003. I don't know, because for this episode, like, we were already done with the Forze tribute, and now it's all about the Fize tribute. Now, I will give it this. It did manage to still work that in, because it just worked. But still, this episode is a bit mild, because it does have inconsistencies. But take what you get, and thank you for watching today's episode. I apologize once again for not doing anything last week, but don't worry, I have plenty more stuff in store, so don't you fret. And as always, like, subscribe, tell your friends. I'm starting to get the idea right now, because it's October. I want to do a video for my first 100 days as a YouTube channel, and that's going to be out in December. So I have more than enough time right now to get this channel building up and flowing. And what would you like to see me do, or what would you like my first 100 days video to be? What would you like my first 100 days video to be? What would you want to see me do? Like, just tell me in the comments down below, and I might do it. Also tell me in the comments down below if you would like, for instead of Saturdays, you would like to see some videos out on Friday, because I think that would be pretty interesting right there. A good way to start off the weekend for some viewers. But that's just me. But bye everyone, and thank you for watching today's episode. Peace.